Features on plantains. Plantains are banana cultivars that belong to the Musaceae and genus Musa family, whose fruits are generally used for cooking. They may be eaten ripe or unripe and are generally starchy. Many cooking bananas are referred to as plantains or green bananas. In botanical usage, the term plantain is used for true plantain, while other starchy cultivars used for cooking are called cooking bananas. True bananas are cultivars belonging to the AAB group, while cooking banana are hermy cultivars belonging to the AM, ABB, and BBB groups. The currently accepted scientific name for all such cultivars in this group is Musa paradisiaca, that is French plantain, which is one of the principal species. The remaining include Musa acuminates, which are Gross, Mitchell, and Cavendish, and also Musa corniculata, that is plantain. Plantain contain more starch and less sugar than desert banana, which is sweet banana. Therefore, they are usually cooked or otherwise processed before eating. The physical appearance of plantain is greenish in color, the outer covering pod. It is slightly curved in length, and when ripe, it has dark or yellowish color with dark patches. When plantain is peeled, the inner fruit is slightly yellowish and cannot be eaten raw, except it is cooked or allowed to go through the process of ripening. They are typically boiled or fried when eating green, and when processed, they can be made into flour and turned into baked products such as cakes, bread, and pancakes. Green plantain can also be boiled, cooked, roasted, baked, pureed, and then used as thickened for soup. Depending on the mode applied for preparation and intended form to be eaten, the pulp of green plantain is typically hard with the peel often so stiff. It has to be cut with a knife to be removed, unlike the immature yellow plantains, which can be peeled like typical desert bananas. The pulp is softer than in immature green fruit, and some of the starch has been converted to sugar. They can be eaten raw but not as flavorful as desert banana, so are usually cooked. When yellow plantains are fried, they tend to caramelize, turning into a golden brown color. They can also be boiled, baked, microwaved, or grilled over charcoal, either peeled or unpeeled. Plantains are a staple food in the tropical regions of the world, ranking as the 10th most important staple food in the world. As a staple, plantain are treated in much the same way as potato and with a similar neutral flavor calories-wise and texture when the unripe fruit is cooked by steaming, boiling, frying. Plantain is a gigantic herb that springs from an underground stem or rhizome. Most varieties are 2 to 9 meters or 3 to 10 meters, that is 10 to 33 feet tall, and have a conical false trunk formed by the leaf sheds of long spirally arranged leaves. The fruit, which is green to brown yellow, is typically larger in size, thicker, greener or more brownish skin than the common banana, and is borne in bunches. Plantain plant is tall and tree-like perennial herbaceous plant with a sturdy pseudostem and large broad leaves arranged spirally at the top. The leaves are large blades with a pronounced central midrib and obvious vein. They can reach up to 2.7 meters, that is 8 to 9 feet in length, and up to 0.6 meters, that is 2.0 feet in width. Each pseudostem produces a group of flowers from which the fruit develops in an hanging cluster. The plantain fruit is developed in a single spike or raceme, arranged on the central stalk of the spike in 5 to 20 clusters or hands, with each hand containing up to 20 fruits or fingers. In commercial plantation, parent dies after harvest and is replaced with a daughter plant. However, a plantain can grow for 25 years or more if managed properly. Plantain grow best in hot and humid climates, required a rainfall of at least 1,000 millimeters, that is 39.4 inches per year, to survive and have a high requirement. Plantain will grow optimally at 27 degrees centigrade and require a deep soil, rich in organic matter which is well draining and well aerated. The plant will grow optimally in soil with a pH between 5.5 and 7.0. Young plantains are very susceptible to wind damage, and it is recommended that they are planted in sufficient shelter or in a block so that the plants will protect one another. Sucker plantains are vegetatively propagated most often from suckers, shoots that grow from a bud at the base of the plant, or from culms, underground bulbs known as rhizome. The use of whole culms is very laborious, so it is more common to grow from small pieces of culm. There are different types of plantain suckers which are produced by the mother plant, such as maidenhead, sword sucker, and water sucker. Maidenhead have a large radiostem which does not produce fruits. Sword suckers have a narrow base, short pseudostem, and narrow blade like leaves. They produce healthy, fruitful pseudostem where they are mature. Water suckers have short pseudostems and broad leaves. Water suckers are not strongly attached to the rhizomes and generally produce weaker plants and less fruits. Maidenheads and large sword suckers are preferred over water suckers. Planting the desired pieces of the plant are usually planted 30 to 60 centimeters, that is 1.8 to 23.6 inch deep in the soil, and should generally be planted at the end of the dry season or the beginning of the wet season. Plant spacing is dependent on the cultivar being planted. Frequent weeding is required until plants are tall enough to shade out competing plants and should be started about 6 weeks after planting. Plantain are fast growing and require the frequent addition of nutrients as well as additional irrigation. In the dry season, plantain is often grown alongside other crop plants with similar requirements. Indeed, the young banana plant makes excellent nurses for other crops such as papaya and cocoa, which can be grown very close to the young plantain. The fruit, that is plantain, usually harvested at its mature but unripe stage, ripens within 2 to 7 days after harvest, making plantain a highly perishable crop, particularly in the overripe stage. Plantain originated from Asia. It is grown both in tropics and subtropics with Central American and West Indies producing most of the crop. Two groups of plantain are thought to have a common origin. The home plantain and the French plantain. Both types grow in India, Africa, Egypt, and tropical America. The French plantain also occur in Indonesia and the island of the Pacific. Plantain are the cheapest staple food to produce. It serves as a useful crop for small-scale farmers and coexists easily with established farming systems. In Nigeria, food quality plantain is produced mainly during the month of October to February every year. Yet, the demand for plantain is all year round. Four main types of plantain are available with distribution strictly based on their bunch characteristics. These are the on type, French type, first type, and the first on type. The first on is the most widely distributed because of its ability to tolerate poor soil conditions. Plantain production is mainly in the southern states in Nigeria. They include Ondo, Osun, Ogun, Oyo, Lagos, Cross River, Imo, Abia, Akwa Ibom, Enugu, Edo, and Delta states. Plantain-based food contain most of the micronutrients required by both children and adults for optimum growth and development of the body. A plantain relatively has more calories weight for weight. 100-gram plantains hold about 122 calories. Indeed, they are reliable sources of starch and energy. Ensuring food for millions of inhabitants worldwide, it contains 2.3 grams of dietary fiber per 100 grams. Adequate amount of dietary fiber in the food helps normal bowel movement, thereby reducing constipation. Vitamin A has more vitamin C than bananas. There, its consumption helps the body develop resistance against infectious agents and scavenge harmful oxygen-free radicals. However, boiling and cooking destroy much of this vitamin in plantain. Plantain carry more vitamin A, which plays a vital role in the visual cycle, maintaining healthy mucous membrane and enhancing skin complexion. Plantain contain moderate level of folate, niacin, riboflavin, and thiamine. They also provide adequate levels of minerals such as iron, magnesium, and phosphorus. Plantain is important in the diet of many Nigerian families in the urban areas. It is normally eaten in convenient form like dodo, fried pie pulp, chips, fried unripe pulp, and also as plantain flour. Plantain flour has an advantage over other starchy foods because it contains protein, mineral, and vitamins. Medicinally, it can be used to cure certain ailments like sore throat, tonsillitis, diarrhea, and vomiting. Other important plantain products documented include soy mosa, sekete, local beer, and boli, roasted plantain eaten alongside with groundnuts, as well as local processed form known as dodo ikire, a local plantain cheese processed from an overripe plantain, spiced with hot pepper. Also, plantain is being used in compounding livestock feed as an alternative source of energy in some West African countries, such as Cameroon and Ghana.
I count it a rare privilege to have access to you through this medium and to be able to bring you this moment of inspiration. I am Dapo Olasode, and I am sure that our journey has moved you forward in your journey to greatness. Today, I want to share with you something I found out that filled me with courage, power, and determination. Something that keeps me going no matter what I encounter. When I found this out, it showed me where to focus my energy to achieve my dreams. Don't let me keep you waiting, sorry. What I found out is that I was created for a purpose. And my purpose is to contribute to making this world a better place. Thinking further, I realized that the world is eagerly awaiting for my contribution. In a sense, the improvement of the world rests solely on my shoulders as my responsibility. Enough of me. Everything I'm saying is also true of you. As interesting as they are, I want to let you know that they are true of you. Dear friend, the world is desperately waiting for your manifestation, for the deployment of your gifts. They are waiting to applaud your gifts when they make the world a better place. While you go through the challenges that you are going through, the world is waiting and encouraging you. As such, a mental picture of your manifestation will provide you with the needed encouragement. You see, I came to talk to you about your gifts. There is something inside you, whether you believe it or not, regardless of where you are, regardless of how you feel, there is something on the inside of you that is empowered to bless your world, that has the power to bless your world. But to bless your world with it, you first need to discover that thing. Then you need to discover the sphere of life that thing is designed to contribute to. You need to discover where your gifts are needed the most. This can be tricky, dear friend, if you have a gift that is relevant in multiple spheres of life. However, as you begin to study, meditate, and try your hands on different spheres of life and interact with different spheres of life, you will discover the sphere of life that needs your gift. For me, I believe in God. So I say all of these things should be done under the foundation of a relationship with God. The next thing is to commit to discovering and developing your gift. To bless your world, your gift needs to have attained a high level of efficiency in its deployment. This level of efficiency only comes by practice. Practice includes learning, experimenting, failing, and correcting your mistakes. The major reason to develop your gifts now, even when the opportunities have not shown their face, is that you will be ready when you are thrust on the center stage. As somebody said, and I quote, he said, "Luck favors the prepared mind." In conclusion, I want to state that the responsibility of blessing your world is a sacred one. So take your duty post with a heart of service. Approach it as one who values the privilege of being a blessing. Do your best with humility and grace, and watch the world reward you beyond your imaginations. I want to thank the producers for this beautiful, wonderful opportunity. Till I come your way next week, never forget, your greatness is assured. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Adúpẹ́ mo gbóyìn bọ̀. Good morning, sir. Adúpẹ́ mo gbóyìn bọ̀. Good morning, ma. Adúpẹ́ mo gbóyìn bọ̀. Èdè òyìnbó kì í ṣe ti bàbá mi. Wọ́n ní nǹkan katapila, èyí mẹ́ta kò tí bàbá mi èyí gbóhùn tí bàbá mi mú kọ ṣé bómi gbóná ní gbogbo àjọ rìn àjọ bẹ̀ láṣẹ tiẹ̀ lórí sótà. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Ẹ wo ìbò kì í ṣe ti bàbá mi, èèmọ̀ wọ súùtù bàbá mi wọ kẹ̀mbẹ́, ṣé báṣọ ni gbogbo wa jọ ń wọ̀, àjọ bẹ̀ láṣẹ tiẹ̀ lóye. Oyin good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Ìjọ òyìnbó kì í ṣe gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Oúnjẹ òyìnbó kì í ṣe ti bàbá mi, èyí gbóhùn tí bàbá mi mú kọ ṣé bómi gbóná ní gbogbo àjọ rìn àjọ bẹ̀ láṣẹ tiẹ̀ lórí sótà. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Ẹ wo ìbò kì í ṣe ti bàbá mi, èèmọ̀ wọ súùtù bàbá mi wọ kẹ̀mbẹ́, ṣé báṣọ ni gbogbo wa jọ ń wọ̀, àjọ bẹ̀ láṣẹ tiẹ̀ lóye. Oyin good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Ìjọ òyìnbó kì í ṣe ti bàbá mi, èèmọ̀jọ breakings máa yára ju bàtà, ṣé bẹ́sẹ̀ ni gbogbo wa fi túlẹ̀, àjọ bẹ̀ láṣẹ tiẹ̀ lóye o. Good morning sir, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́. Good morning ma, àdúgbò mọ̀ gbọ́ yìí mọ́.
It's a lovely Tuesday morning. Hello out there, how are you doing? This is AM Cafe live on OSBC TV, 113 on Star Times. We're live on YouTube, and it's a wonderful Tuesday morning. We believe it's a lovely day out there as well. My name is Benga Famino, welcoming everyone to another edition of AM Cafe, where we'll be doing justice to discussing traffic related matters with yes, if we were to say it's the usual Niger way, we say with your guard talk in our show. It's a pleasure having everyone on board. We thank God for this moment, or it's the middle of the year. It's a period that Nigeria is getting busier and busier. Our state definitely is gearing up the for the election. The time is for the election of the new leader in the state, and getting towards the third and the fourth quarter of the year. These are the days that many Nigerians, one way or the other, are compelled to be on the road. Being on the road, how do we ensure safety of our lives? Together with, yes, in the house, the head of the Federal Road Safety Corps, welcoming our guest this morning. It's a pleasure having you this morning, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
sir.
Thank you.
We really appreciate the fact that each time we call on you, even when it's a short notice, you still oblige us your time.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate
Thank you so much.
that so much.
Thank you.
Yes, this is the month of June, and the year gets busier when it's running to an end, especially during the election year, when many people would like to travel to perform their civic responsibility of casting their votes. Yes, I would like to know, starting from the season, the changing season. This is the rainy season. So what makes the situation, the traffic situation, different for us during the rainy season to start with? How is the rainy season different from the dry season for commuters?
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. My name is Paul John Ope, Corps Commander, Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Osun State. We want to appreciate God for all that He has been doing for us as an organization. Our public enlightenment and advocacy has really been working well. You can see that the people are abiding to traffic rules. Though we're not there yet, we'll keep appealing to our people in Osun State to ensure that they keep to all traffic rules. We are taking our advocacy to the church, to the mosques, to motor parks, schools, and so on. And that has resulted to the result we are getting in relation to the road traffic crashes around the state. We keep appealing to the people that they keep to the rules so that we have better roads and fuller lives. Just to come to your question, yes, we have the dry season, we also have the rainy season. There's what we call the special weather driving condition. You know, when we have the dry season, you see that there will be no rain, and so everywhere will be dry. So we'll be able to drive, even at night, without any inhibition. But during the rainy season, you see that once it starts raining, you made the visibility become very low. And that means you cannot see far when you drive. And also when the rain is intense, we expect motorists to stay off the road. And if you are caught up during the rain, while you're on the road, if it starts raining, it's expected that you park probably off the road until the rain subsides.
What if the rain is not very heavy?
If it's not very heavy, yes, you can move, but there is also a speed which you can go. You will not, because the law have said you go at 100 kilometers per hour, and then during the rainy season, you want to make that 100 kilometers per hour. That is the common sense driving that we talk about. It means that if the rain is not heavy, you can still drive using your wipers, but the speed has to be reduced drastically.
Okay.
Yes.
What are the likely dangers that are on the increase on the road when rain falls?
Yeah, when rain falls, you see that some may have their vision impaired, some motorists. And you know that there are motorists that use eyeglasses to drive. And so, in that situation, the attention of the motorist, of a particular driver, can be divided. He's thinking of the rain, he's thinking of so many things at that moment, and so he may not see the oncoming vehicle. Because you have the weather, you know that the weather have changed.
In Nigeria, commuters have been used to occasional inspections
Yes.
where your people check things like fire extinguishers, sea caution, and things like that. For the rainy season, what are the items that you mentioned common sense?
Yes.
That an average road user should have in mind that whether I am inspected or not, this item should be in my car during the rainy season.
Yes, thank you so much. Like we know, you must be a licensed driver before you even go on the highway in the first place. So your driver's license is key. But we've seen situations where people take this thing for levity. They don't, most of them, they will have very serious-minded people, like you know, who ensure that they must have their license before they get on the highway. Because they wouldn't want to be embarrassed by by either the operatives of the FRIC, the police, and so many other organizations that are operating on the highway. Because that is what makes you to be on the highway in the first place. And so with that, you are expected to have your vehicle papers, which should be up to date. These are issued by the State Licensing Board, Board of Internal Revenue. You are supposed to have all of the vehicle papers, which includes the license, vehicle license, the roadworthiness, and the rest of it. Like I said, the license is number one, the driver's license, which is key. Then also, in driving under this condition, weather condition, you are expected to ensure that the vehicle wipers works perfectly.
All right.
And like you know, there's something we usually do from time to time. We carry out free vehicle checks around the states. We have commands around Osun State. And so once there's these days that are dedicated to free vehicle check, our men are not expected to contravene any motorist. That means they will check the vehicle. Whatever that is not right there in the vehicle, that is in the vehicle that is not working. Traffic lights, that is the headlamps and all of that. The wipers, if you don't have a jack, if you don't have a tire, a spare tire, because you know that for you to be on the road, anything could happen. So when we check spare tires and jack, it's for your own good. It's for the good of that motorist. Because while on a journey or while driving around the metropolis, either the tire can have a problem.
What should be the condition of the windshield?
The windshield.
The windshield. Some windshields at times have slight cracks.
We always also advise motorists that all their windshields should should not be cracked. Yes. We book those who do not keep to that law. We also contravene them.
Why is a small crack a problem?
There's more crack because from that small, it gets to the big. And also, it also will contribute to the motorists not seeing well during the rainy season.
During this. Okay.
Yes. You saw some windshields that are shattered.
That's right.
You understand? And the motorists keep driving it.
Yes.
Because we know now, because of the economic situation, many will say, yes, I don't have the funds to do that. But again, safety is first. Safety is first. So if you do not have the resources at that moment, we expect that you work out something with either spare parts sellers in Ajegule or other parts of the state to get it in place while you pay with time. But if not, we expect you to park that vehicle for a moment until you get it fixed.
That's right.
Because like we always say, safety is first.
Safety.
Yes.
Yes. What should be the unbearable state of a tire?
Unbearable.
Yes, I deliberately use the word unbearable
Yes.
just to explain the fact that you see, we mentioned economic situation, economic realities. Sometimes when you look at your tire, you'll be like, okay, I think I can still manage it. At least it's still well inflated. Even when the tire is becoming
Worn out.
worn out. So at what stage should one see a tire as something one should not use again, especially this season?
Yes. You know that if you look at a tire, the lifespan of every tire is expected to be 4 years.
4 years.
Yes. And it's boldly written.
Even when it looks good.
No. That's what I'm coming to that.
Okay.
It's expected to be 4 years. But you know that because of the road condition of certain roads, the tire gets bad with that. And so, even though 4 years is what we expect that is the lifespan of a tire, it does not mean that you continue to use that tire until it's 4 years. No. Because it can get bad at any moment.
That's right.
And so, it is expected that as a motorist, as you do your first morning parade on the vehicle, which is checking the oil, the water level, and the rest, you check your tires to see whether those tires are still in good condition. Some of the tires get worn out with time. And I'm sure you are aware that some of these products are fake.
That's
and
true.
You know that we have agencies that check this from time to time.
That's true.
Some, when these things are brought into the country, there are agencies that look at them and, consecrate them and destroy them because they are fake. So we expect that every motorist gets educated in all of these areas. Even in buying fuel, you are aware that we have witnessed a lot of adulterated fuel in our country. And so, we expect every motorist, anyone who drives, to get some little knowledge about the vehicle that he or she drives. So you look at the oil, is it fake or not? So, it's not just having a vehicle and just driving.
Let's narrow our conversation down to commercial bus drivers.
Yes.
Take, for instance, a 14-seater bus.
Yes.
What is the approved seating arrangement in an average bus?
In another bus, there are some that you have just the driver and one passenger in front.
In front.
But there are some you have 1 and 2 passengers in front.
That's right.
And then the other of the other seats are supposed to be 3.
3.
Yes. And so when you count that,
But
3,
we have 4. They carry 4 at a time.
No, that is not allowed.
That's
you know
okay.
that we've been carrying out public enlightenment. We have been working with the National Union of Road Transport Workers, Road Employers Association of Nigeria, RITIAN, and all the associations, to ensure that they keep to this. But because of most of them, yes, the unions are trying. The union bodies are trying. Transport unions are trying by discussing with their members. But you know that you have already members of these associations who, for want of money, go to overload those vehicles. I know in the first place, most of them don't own these vehicles. So they don't mind whether the vehicle the wear and tear of the vehicles don't concern them.
There's a belief that you have officers that are compromised that your officers don't do due diligence on the road, of course, because they don't mind tipping and things like that. Would you confirm or deny such an opinion?
No, I will not. I will not sit here to say that some staff may or may not be compromised, because you are close to the FRSC office in Osun State. That's
it.
my office.
That's it.
And if you want to get more information, you can also try to carry out dispute investigation in the office. We have parade on Mondays, every Monday, and also what we call in-house on Wednesdays, where we speak to ourselves. This is one of the topical issues that we talk about. We abhor bribery, and we are appealing to our citizens in Osun State that they should refrain from that. Refrain from tipping or giving any form of gratification to our boys, to our operatives. Because we have what we call the surveillance team that goes out from time to time to check all of this. And also, we have our 122, where an operative demands for this. We want you to please let us know. We all have our names.
That's right.
On our uniform.
On our uniform.
But I want to tell you that most of the motorists are guilty because they do the wrong things to go on the road and try to bribe their way through. I'm sure you know how the country is working.
That's it.
So I lay it at the doorstep of most motorists who do not want to do the right thing. Because if you have your driver's license, your vehicle papers, and all of these things are working your vehicle, and
there's
you drive,
no need trying to tip.
there's no trying to tip anybody. No, but you see, within the town, one of the squad we try to fight, even including me, each time I move around town, is route violation. You see motorists who do not want to go the route, trying to say shortcut, facing oncoming vehicles. What will such people teach their children? It is a bad habit, and we don't condone that when we see such. And we want the people of the citizens of the state to join us.
It's like
where we'll fight all of this.
It seems maybe it wouldn't be wrong to say that an officer who indulges in taking tips is like condoning the presence of suicide drivers on the road. And that amounts to endangering lives, many lives.
That is true.
So you are saying you are very strict about that.
Oh, yes.
Very, very strict.
And some of them that have been caught in the act have been sacked.
Sacked?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
FRSC does not tolerate that.
Wow.
Yes, you can check with our national headquarters. We have all of the records, or even here when you call.
And you mentioned 122 the other time. You're saying it's
It's a toll-free line. So yes, in case of any emergency, road traffic crash, or any of these infractions, just call the 122, and then we will get immediate attention. Yes.
We've heard of certain societies, advanced societies that record that all right, for 1 month there was no accident on our road, for 2 months there was no accident on our road. Is that realistic?
Yes, it's very possible. But because of the attitude of all of us, if we decide to do the right thing,
all of us,
yes, we decide to do the right thing here, it's very possible. And that is where we have continued to say there must be consequences for actions. If you don't do the right thing, there should be consequences. But when there are no consequences, and we throw our weight around, where those who are expected to be leaders are not showing the way or indulging in the wrong things, then the society can never be better.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. So when a commuter is stopped at a road at a checkpoint,
yes,
and the recalcitrant commuter refuses to stop, what are the mechanisms in place by your? Of course, in the time past, we used to hear about your command having facilities to track plate numbers, and things. So do you still have all those things in place?
We have. Yes. first and foremost, the FRSC do not encourage roadblocks or road checkpoints.
Checkpoints.
We don't have that.
All right.
If you see our operation, we don't block any part of the highway.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we're expected, because one of the things we do is to clear all obstruction on the highway, so we don't do that. But our operation,
Checkpoints are not very safe, right?
checkpoints,
For
what
road-
we have is that we have men on patrol on the road,
Okay,
checking,
men on patrol, that's
mobile
true.
patrol moving, and then sometimes you see them stand at the point, which is also called static patrol. In doing that, we ensure that the traffic moves and all of that. Then, just like you said, our operatives have been told not to pursue any motorists because we have technology to drive all of this process.
Okay.
So when you flag down a motorist and does not stop, the marshals, the operatives also have their phones and other gadgets to take pictures and also for that number of that vehicle to be taken. And we have what we call National Vehicle Insurance Scheme.
Okay.
On that, all vehicles have been registered. We have
All
all the
vehicles.
details.
Wow.
So we will go back and check through our platform, the NVIS platform, that's the National Vehicle Insurance Scheme platform, which is domiciled at Abere here. We have an officer who is in charge, who is under my office. And we'll go through and then we'll get all of the details of that motorist from there. So that is coming from Kano or wherever. It's
There's
linked.
a national database.
It's a national database.
Wow.
Yeah, linked together. And all security agencies, some have been given access to access it in case of their operation, in case they are looking for a particular vehicle.
That's right.
That has helped a lot. And that has also helped us to recover stolen vehicles too.
So an offender in Osun can be arrested in
Yes.
in Oyo State.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then the details, once we go in there, and then we work with other security agencies to apprehend some of those motorists. Yes. So the National Vehicle Insurance Scheme is working very well. It's a national database that is linked together, like I said earlier. So technology is what will help us to checkmate some of these infractions that we see around our country, around our road, and so on.
So, still talking in technology.
Yes.
Certain pieces of equipment you've heard about your command using before, we wouldn't know if you still deploy such technology. Like there was a time we learned your command used to use something to measure speed.
Oh, yeah, that's speed gun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that is speed gun.
Okay.
Yes, those ones are deployed on the highway
Oh.
to check speed of vehicles.
Okay.
Yes, those who go above 100. We have them. And then we also have what we call breathalyzers. That is the alkalizers.
Okay.
To check motorists, when on the highway, and then you do some random checks on motorists, on drivers. I mean the drivers especially. Whether they have taken alcohol or not.
Oh.
Yes, it's
still
based
have
on the
all
level
these
of alcohol content
Okay.
in the body system.
Okay.
And so when you discover that you have taken some level of some alcohol, then that driver will be prevented from moving ahead with his journey.
All right.
Yes, we have all of those things. These are things we continue to encourage. That will help us. And we want to appreciate the religious bodies for joining us in preaching to their members. Because most of us in this country, in Nigeria, in Osun State, either we are Christians or we are Muslims, and we go to the mosques. So our advocacy to the leaders of the religious bodies have also been helping. The leaders of the Transport Union also have been helping. And I'm sure you know that in checking speed, the speed limiter was also, approved, made a policy that we started with commercial vehicles. And so for now, we've been carried out that as enforcement. For commercial vehicles that don't have that speed limiter, we apprehend those vehicles and then make them to install. The FRSC don't install. We have companies that are licensed around the country. Like in Osun State, we have a company that is licensed. And so once we have such vehicles with us, we ask the company, we ask the motorist, the driver, to approach that company, and then the speed limiter is installed. These are ways we're trying to check speed, unnecessary speed, because we want to reduce the level of carnage in our country. And like I said in my opening remarks, that we appreciate that the road traffic crash level have gone down in Osun State. In the last 2-3 months, the crash level have gone down. What we used to see before is crashes occur mostly on the Asajire, Gongon, Ikire to Owena Road. That is where we used to have more of the crashes. But God is helping us. But again, our team along that stretch, from Ipetu Ijesha through Ilesha to Ife Gongon, now we have an outpost at Akpomo by Ikire. And so all of them are working hard to ensure that drivers that most of them that undertake route violation, that they are contravened and they are doing a good work there. And we also keep appealing to government. Government have been trying that they remove the vegetation in the median. And because that is one of the things that was discovered, one of the reasons why most motorists keep changing lanes from one lane to another.
That's
and
right.
facing oncoming vehicles.
That's right.
So government have been trying, we have been in touch with the Federal Minister of Works, and they have been doing well. The federal controller here have been a good partner. Also, we have the FEMA that also have been doing well. I know enough of positive form that would have been able to, they would have tackled all of these issues. But we are following up with them, and God is helping.
You used to enforce the use of seat belts and the like.
Yes.
Do you still?
We still do that. Even the use of helmet.
And you apprehend?
Oh yeah, we apprehend. If you come to office, you see bikes have been apprehended. Some are there, have been there for like more than 6 months. The owners have not come forward. And also, if they don't come forward for a long time, what they lost, the states is that we approach the court. And once we get the order of the court, and auctioneer, we auction them. So we appeal to everyone who have their bikes impounded or vehicles impounded, that they should not allow so much time so that it's not auctioned.
What's like the limit?
6 months.
6 months?
Yes, if you don't
Wow.
come forward for 6 months, we'll give some time using human face, and then we'll approach the court, because we can't litter our premises with all of that.
That's it.
Yeah, so we encourage everyone that his or her vehicle have been impounded to always come forward and pay the necessary fines to to government and take their, and that is why we have the notice of offense. Once you are booked, you go and generate your route and pay to the federation account. Yes, we want people to do the right thing.
That's right.
FRSC was not established to make people pay fines to government, but it's only when you don't do the right thing, then the notice of offense is given to you.
What happens to somebody that is booked and the person refuses to? Of course, you are booked and you do not show up. That means you can't impound the person's vehicle.
Okay, if you are booked and then your vehicle is not impounded?
That's it.
Yes, we, like I said, we have all of these records. Something would have been confiscated from that motorist. Right. Either the driver's license or the vehicle papers.
Okay.
And we can always go through the number to track such people.
That's it.
Using the National Vehicle Insurance Scheme, like I said earlier.
All right. Before we round off, let's quickly talk about realities affecting motorcyclists.
Yes.
Especially this raining season.
Yes.
Using this opportunity to admonish everyone, what are the biggest threats to motorcycling this rainy season?
Not just only during the rainy season. I keep saying that having motorcycles as a means of transportation is a misnomer.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
But because of the realities of our country, where unemployment rate is so high,
That's it.
and I'm sure that is why government is just watching. You know that some states
That
across the country have
fighting
tried to
the
have
phenomenon.
tried to ban the use of
Yes, fighting
motorcycles as a means of transportation.
That's it.
But like I said, because of the unemployment rate, some try to do it, some try to restrict them to certain corridors. So whether it's rainy season or dry season, there's always a threat, even to those riding those motorcycles and their passengers.
Mm.
And if you see how they ride their bicycles, because most of them are not schooled in how to drive safely these motorcycles
That's it.
because of the economic situation. Somebody who does not even know how to ride a bike will just go and pick it and begin to pick passengers. We've been working with the Minister of Works and Transport through the SA Transport to see how we regulate their operation, working with their union. At a point, we also thought of them having the reflective jackets.
Okay.
Yes. I think that is
Reflective jacket.
Yes,
Okay.
for them, to identify them, especially for security reasons.
Mm.
Because you have those who use those motorcycles for criminal activities.
That's it.
So we pray and also in working hard with all stakeholders, especially government, to see how these motorcycles are regulated, so that because we keep training them to ensure that they use the road properly. And so one of the things that we talk about seriously is the use of helmets. And some of them that have been apprehended for not using the helmet, I'm sure if you go to town to do your investigation, some of them will tell you that yes, the FRSC is serious about that. So we advise them to use their helmet and drive safely on the highway and not be competing with motorists. Like I said, most of them don't know how to ride their bikes. They jump onto the road anyhow. And it's constituting nuisance.
And it's quite interesting seeing that all these rules you've tried so hard to enforce are not for your own good, but for the good of the users. Of course, for a sector commander to insist that his men should make sure that motorcyclists use helmet, you're not doing that to protect your men.
Yes.
You're doing that to protect the motorcyclists themselves.
That is it.
So that might be a very good point for us to wrap it up this morning. That FRSC is doing a lot, but not for the safety of the FRSC men themselves, but for the safety of Nigerians. Safety, whether it has to do with the use of seat belts, helmet, and all those things, because we see practices, we see situations where when commuters approach your officers, they quickly put on their seat belts, and after passing whatever, they remove the seat belt again. At such times, I do wonder that, okay, why are you doing this? Why are you struggling with your seatbelt because you see road safety people? If you use that seatbelt, whether you use it or not, how does it affect the officers? It doesn't affect the officers. It's for your own good. So I think your efforts should be commended, and irrespective of the missing points, I think road safety as an institution has done a lot to save lives in Nigeria. So we use this opportunity to appreciate your command, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And we pray that the selfless service all of you are putting into place will be rewarded accordingly by God's grace.
Thank you.
And thank you for touching the aspect of erring officers. and for every effort you are trying to put in place to make sure that your officers do the right thing. We pray you'll be rewarded for that. Please do not rest on your hands. Make sure you keep insisting that everybody plays by the book. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, President.
Sector Commander Osho John Okwe. We really appreciate your time, sir.
you.
We are in the rainy season.
Yes.
Whether road safety is on the road or not, would it be out of place if you and I can decide to be the how do I say, the watchdogs of the road for ourselves? For me to put my car on the road, whether road safety is on the road or not, why don't I ensure that everything is all right with my car? We all pray for long life, but prayer doesn't do everything. Prayer doesn't do everything. It is our prayer that, just like Sector Commander told us this morning, that in Oshun, for instance, we have reduced number of road accidents. It is our prayer that road accidents will continue to reduce, even up to 0 points. That's our prayer. Yes, thank you so much for tuning into AM Cafe this morning, live on OSBC TV. We are live on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, OSBC TV. Special thanks to everyone on board, the VTR, MCR, all hands on deck. We really appreciate our contributors. Special thanks to the producer, Olushola Ogunleye. Thank you so much for the efforts. Our executive producer, Jolade Igbarola. Once again, my name is Benga Famino. Appreciating you once again for tuning in. Tomorrow is another day when we come your way with another edition of AM Cafe. Till then, this is wishing you a blessed day. Goodbye and God bless.
So far, the player with the number 26, Leon Sars is going.
They are very closer. My goodness, what a pass! Mischief! A penalty! Camille trying to connect Buya. And it's a very good connection. A very good connection for the match against Nigeria in Lagos a few days ago. A very good one. Who is here? The skipper hit the post. It hit the post. To see how the fans are reacting to the positive 10-minute start for Leon Stars. Kwame to take it goal. What a chance! Musa Tombo. They are everywhere now. They are everywhere. One is beaten. They are very close. They can be out. That is poorly done. That should have been a very good opportunity. They are moving forward. This player is beaten. Kwame Kui was beaten easily. My God. So Sama, a very good one. Player number 23. They are moving forward. Cleared by the skipper. They are moving forward very close. Guinea-Bissau on the attack. What's a good defense from Buya Toure. They are moving forward again. This dangerous player, the man in the number 18 jersey, a very good player. They are moving forward. 2-1, what's a chance? That is Pole. They are dangerous. Number 18 as usual. That is Opa Sangari. Number 8. Janio, very good one. But poor at the end. Opa Sangari. Leon Stars are relaxing. Opa Sangari, a very good one to Esteves. Esteves cleared. Leon Stars players are available. Leon Musa, Buya going forward. Buya in the 18. Buya, a very good one from Buya. What a chance! What a miss! What a miss! What's a good one from Kake? Kake running forward, a very good one. Kwame Kui trying to connect Musa, cleared by their defense. They are moving forward again. The Guinea-Bissau with the ball. Estivo. Poor connection. The goalkeeper misses. No communication from the goalkeeper.
Good morning, sport fans, and welcome to M Sport on OSBC TV. There with you, Kebale here in Oshogbo. Nigerians, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, write history as they walloped, destroyed, and rubbished Sao Tome yesterday in a whooping 10-0 win. Yes, in the ongoing African Cup of Nations qualifiers. And of course it was and it will be a night or a day to remember for the Sao Tome's team. Of course it wasn't what they were expecting. It wasn't what we were actually expecting, but it ended up that the Super Eagles did the needful against Sao Tome. 10-0 it ended. Of course with that Jose Pizarro set a new record for the Super Eagles. Of course, you get to enjoy some of the highlights of this particular game that was played yesterday. And yes, we understand that Jose Pizarro set a new record with the 10-0 win against Sao Tome and Principe yesterday. Of course, Pizarro now becomes the first coach, first Super Eagles coach to lead the team to their biggest ever scoreline. The biggest ever scoreline. Of course, the first time the Super Eagles win with such a big margin was the 10-1 win against the Squirrels of Benin Republic, and that was in 1959. at Kwame in Ruma Cup. Yes, and of course it was Victor Osimhen who set the tone right for the Super Eagles in the 9th minute. Of course, eventually scoring 4 goals in that encounter. Terence Murphy scored a brace for himself, and of course we have Emmanuel Dennis as well getting on the score sheet with Ogene Karo Etebo with his wonderful coiled in free kick. And yes, we understand that Ademola Lookman also got his first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and of course it would be a memorable one for some of these players who have gone to celebrate their goals. And yes, Victor Osimhen has reacted to his goal, getting an hat-trick, and of course getting 4 goals in that match. He's come to say that it was a collective work from his teammate and of course himself as well. It was a result of hard work, and yes, a good one for the Super Eagles striker. Talking about Victor Osimhen, of course he further established the fact that he's one of the strikers to reckon with as far as these qualifiers and of course world in Europe at large is concerned. Yes, he scored 5 goals in 2 games. Yes, Victor Osimhen scored 5 goals in 2 games as far as these qualifiers is concerned, making him the highest goal scorer in the qualifiers so far. Of course, he has also scored 15 goals in 22 appearances for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Talking about Victor Osimhen, and of course Dennis Emmanuel Dennis also took to his Twitter page to celebrate his first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He celebrated his first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and of course he said that it is one of many to come. Same with Ademola Lookman, who got his first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Same thing with Terence Murphy. Of course, we hope this set of players will be able to gel together and play better, and of course grow, and we can probably call them our own golden generation. But the next qualifiers will be in September, where they take on Guinea-Bissau in that encounter. Of course, moving on and talking about Guinea-Bissau this morning. Yes, a 10-man Guinea-Bissau holds Sierra Leone to a 2-all draw in their match yesterday. Of course, and despite having a player sent off, Guinea-Bissau managed to hold Sierra Leone to a 2-all draw away in the second Group A game yesterday, of course. And Guinea-Bissau raised to a 2-0 win through Jorginho, who badged the brace in the 49th and 52nd minute. But it was in the 57th minute that Guinea-Bissau were reduced to 10 men after Sana was shown a straight red card. Of course, Sierra Leonean team took advantage of the red card and pulled in their first goal in the 77th minute through Augustine Kagbo. And of course, with 2 minutes left to play, Sierra Leone completed the comeback thanks to Musa Kamara. Of course, with that draw yesterday, Nigeria tops the table with 6 points, while Guinea-Bissau follow with 4 points. Same, and of course, we have Sierra Leone with just a point, no point in that encounter, and of course, Sao Tome, of course, they are without a point, and yes, just 1 point for the Sierra Leonean team. Moving on this morning very quickly, let's let you know that the Athletics Federation of Nigeria has picked up the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium for Yes, they have picked the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City for the selection trial for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, and of course the World Athletics Championship in USA. Of course, Prince Adisa Beyoku, Secretary General of the Federation, says Nigerian Championship serves as the selection for two major competitions starting in July, which runs from Tuesday 21st of June to Thursday 23rd of June, of course. And very quickly this morning, it's a good time for Australia. Yes, Australia have qualified for the World Cup as far as this Asian Cup is concerned. Of course, Australia booked their place in the World Cup via penalty yesterday, and it was a hard fought one for them. Australia become the 31st team to book their place at the 2022 World Cup after beating Peru on penalties in the Intercontinental playoffs in Qatar. Of course, goalkeeper Andrew Redmayne, who replaces Matt Ryan just before the shootout for his third cap, was the Euro 7 Alex Velara's final kick. And yes, this will be Australia's 5th World Cup in a row, having qualified every time since 2006. And of course, they will be in Group D alongside other France, Denmark, and Tunisia. Of course, the World Cup's final team will be concluded or decided on Tuesday today when Costa Rica faces New Zealand at the same venue, the Ahmed Ben Ali Stadium. Of course, would get to see the final team that would be represented in that team. But very quickly, it wasn't a good outing for France in the UEFA Nations League yesterday as they were defeated by Croatia. Of course, France hope of retaining the Nations League title over after a home defeat by Croatia, which means they cannot reach the next year's final. Of course, if you look at Modric, a 5th-minute penalty after Ibrahima Konate fouled Budimir was the only goal in that encounter. Of course, in Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappe. Of course, with Christopher Nkunku, France had 3 of the 4 top scorers in Europe's major leagues, but failed to find a net. And the champ side, bottom of Group A1 on 2 points. 2 points from just 3 games. Well, because of our time this morning, let's quickly let you know that Arsenal have confirmed the signing of 19-year-old Brazilian midfielder, Brazilian defender, rather, talking about Marquinhos, yes, a Brazilian forward. I beg your pardon, Marquinhos. Of course, the Gunners says that the Brazil under 17 international has joined the Premier League club on a long-term contract. Of course, the Sao Paulo youth product made his first team debut as a 18-year-old last July before helping them win the regional Campeonato Paulista in 2021. Of course, he has scored 4 goals in 41 appearances for Sao Paulo and has also represented Brazil at under 16 level. Good one for Arsenal. If you'd ask me about, I will wrap up this morning from the transfer scene, as we understand that Manchester City are in the race to sign Calvin Phillips, who happens to be England and Leeds midfielder. Yes, who is 26 years at the moment. Calvin Phillips is on the radar of Manchester City. At the moment, Manchester United have opened talks with Barcelona midfielder Frankie de Jong, who is 25 years, of course, but they said they would not overpay for the midfielder, who is valued around 100 million euros, approximately 85.7 million pounds. And yes, we understand that Tottenham Hotspur wants to sign Brazil forward and Everton forward, talking about Richarlison, and the Toffees want 15 million pounds for the 25-year-old. Finally, this morning, RB Leipzig have set 100 million price tag, 100 million pounds price tag for France attacker Christopher Nkunku, with Manchester United, Arsenal, and Paris Saint-Germain interested in the 24-year-old. Many thanks to everyone that made this production possible this morning. We need to wrap up. Omotayo Adebodu is my name. Muideen Adeleke is the producer of this program. Until tomorrow when we come your way again, I say don't stop loving the sport. Good morning.
Bàbá lọ́jà yàlájẹ́ oníṣòwò kéékèèké pẹ̀lú oníṣòwò ńláńlá. Ẹjọ́ TV channel o lè jọjà yìí tàyẹ sọ fún wọn. OSBC lókè balẹ̀
OSBC lókè balẹ̀
Channel 32 UHF náà lẹ̀ sọ.
Channel 32 UHF ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wá síbẹ̀ wọn.
OSBC Channel 32 kì í náà ṣe níbẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ gan òjijì tún lè ṣàdùrẹ́ ṣe ọmọ. wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àsìkò ní àjọyọ̀
Oyin àsìkò tó ń ṣàkóso.
ní lọ́gbọ́n lọ́lọ́kan ọjọ́
Ètò tó kọ́ ní lọ́kàn.
àwọn àsìkò tó tún bàbá mú gidi. wọ́n ṣe publicity fún business tí a jà ó. ìwọ lọ rí wọn tún lè ṣàdùrẹ́.